When news started circulating about a high-level international figure quietly landing in South Africa without the usual diplomatic fanfare, many dismissed it as just another rumor. But things quickly escalated when Hellen Zille, a senior political figure and former Premier of the Western Cape, came forward with what she claims to be undeniable information about a secret visit by none other than Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Her statements have now sparked national debates, raised serious questions about transparency in government, and pulled South Africa right into the center of a global political conversation. According to Zille, this visit was never meant to be made public. There were no official press releases, no televised handshakes, no national anthems played at Tambo International. Just a quiet arrival, a tight ring of security, and meetings behind closed doors that have left even seasoned political analysts guessing. To understand why this alleged visit is so controversial, we need to step back and look at both the local and global contexts that frame the situation. South Africa has tried to position itself as a non-aligned country in global conflicts. Over the last few years, especially during the Russia-Ukraine war, South Africa has avoided taking clear sides, maintaining a stance that it calls a neutral diplomacy. But this position has been challenged multiple times. For instance, South Africa conducted joint military exercises with Russia and China during the height of the Ukraine conflict, raising concerns among Western allies. At the same time, South African officials have continued to say they believe in peaceful negotiation and diplomacy. So if Zelensky really did come to South Africa in secret, the question becomes, why would the South African government hide a meeting with the leader of a nation that's actively at war, especially one that many Western powers support? And why would it be Hellen Zille, not the president or Durko, revealing this information? Hellen Zille, known for her fearless political stance and vocal criticism of the ruling ANC government, has not backed down on her claims. She says that confidential sources within diplomatic and airport security circles confirm Zelensky's brief touchdown in South Africa. According to her, he was not here for public engagements but to hold private meetings with senior government officials, and possibly some in the private sector. Zille raised alarms about why South Africans were kept in the dark. She stated that the lack of transparency undermines democratic accountability and contradicts the country's claims of neutrality. She warned that the public has a right to know when significant geopolitical meetings are being held on their soil. She even went further to suggest that this secrecy may have been motivated by fear of political backlash from pro-Russian or anti-Western groups in the country. The presidency has so far not confirmed nor denied the visit, which only adds fuel to the fire. In the absence of clear answers, speculation has filled the void. Some analysts believe that this could have been part of back-channel diplomacy, perhaps aimed at facilitating dialogue between Ukraine and Russia using South Africa as a neutral ground. Others suggest that economic or military assistance may have been discussed, although there is no evidence to confirm that. Still, the possibility alone raises critical issues about South Africa's role in the broader international landscape. If such meetings are indeed taking place under wraps, it challenges the principle of public oversight and opens the door to political manipulation. On the other hand, some critics of Zille argue that she may be using the claim for political mileage. With the 2026 elections slowly approaching, every party is trying to assert its relevance and appeal to voters. By framing the ruling party as secretive and dishonest, Zille could be aiming to sway public opinion in favor of the Democratic Alliance, her political home. However, the seriousness of her allegations means they cannot be dismissed simply as political noise. Even if the visit did not happen exactly as she described, the fact that a respected political figure is making such a claim shows a deep mistrust in the current administration's transparency. Adding to the complexity is South Africa's current diplomatic relationship with both Russia and Ukraine. President Cyril Ramaphosa has previously spoken to both Putin and Zelensky by phone and even took part in African-led peace initiatives, which included trips to Ukraine and Russia. Those missions were public and widely covered. But a visit from Zelensky to South Africa in secret, if true, would be a different matter entirely. It might signal a shift in South Africa's foreign policy, or at least an effort to balance its relations more carefully. Such a shift would come with consequences. For instance, South Africa could risk damaging its relationships with countries like Russia and China, which it has drawn closer to in recent years. It could also raise questions among BRICS members about where South Africa truly stands on international conflicts. On the flip side, improving ties with Ukraine and its Western allies could open new trade opportunities, increase foreign investment, or even elevate South Africa's standing in global peace talks. But none of that can happen transparently if the very meetings to discuss those options are kept secret. Some insiders in the diplomatic community have pointed out that secret visits by world leaders aren't always unusual. Security concerns often make it necessary to keep details confidential until after the event. However, in democratic societies, even secret visits are generally acknowledged after they occur, especially when they involve foreign heads of state. The complete silence surrounding this alleged visit is what makes the situation unique and controversial. Even political figures aligned with the ANC have expressed concern, albeit privately, about how such matters are handled. If the public loses trust in how international engagements are managed, it can lead to broader political instability and erode the legitimacy of the government. There is also the question of public reaction. South Africans have mixed feelings about the Russia-Ukraine war. Some support Russia due to historical ties from the anti-apartheid era, while others sympathize with Ukraine as a victim of aggression. If it becomes clear that the government is leaning more heavily toward one side, especially through hidden diplomacy, it could ignite protests, weaken coalitions, and increase social division. So now the spotlight is on President Ramaphosa and his government. Will they come clean? Or will they continue to dodge questions in the hope that the public forgets? One thing is certain, with political figures like Hellen Zille refusing to stay silent, and with the public becoming more engaged than ever, the era of backroom diplomacy might be coming to an end. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe Hellen Zille's claims about Zelensky's secret visit? Why would the government keep such a visit quiet? Is South Africa really neutral, or are we slowly picking sides in global conflicts? Make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Your support helps us continue to bring you thought-provoking content on South African and global politics.